Hey, it's Eamon with ipXchange. I'm at Kudelski IoT's booth at Embedded World 2024, talking to Fred. So, give us an overview of what Kudelski IoT can offer its customers.
Okay, so in the context of this show, we essentially do three things. The first one is lab services. So this is an advisory and penetration testing lab that we have in Switzerland. We can advise customers on how to build secure device, and then we can try and see if they are really secure in our lab.
Nice.
The second thing we do, and this is more for chipset manufacturers, are secure IP blocks, so a secure enclave that chipset manufacturers can embed into their chip to provide security services and essentially replace a separate secure element on the PCB of the device.
So that's to like kind of consolidate your whole
exactly. So it's the chip plus the IP block, so you have everything in one piece.
Cool.
And the third thing we do is once you've put in your nice chip the security enclave, which will do secure processing and keep your keys secure, the question is how do you put the keys inside this enclave securely? And this is the topic of the third offering, which is keySTREAM, which is a system to securely provision devices in the factory, even at the chipset factory or in the field.
Cool. So that keySTREAM sounds very, very interesting. What does it kind of look like for a design engineer if they were to approach Kudelski IoT? How would that kind of workflow happen?
So there's a few different ways to skin that cat, depending on where you're coming from. But say in the ideal case, you buy a supported chipset from your regular manufacturer, you log into your account in Kudelski IoT, and then on your factory line or in the field, the chip will connect to keySTREAM and get the credentials that you configured on our web API, I suppose, or web interface.
Cool. And I've heard that Matter, well, I can see on some of the documentation, Matter is within your capabilities. So can you describe a bit about what it's like working with security for Matter and how you've managed to create a product that really supports that wireless protocol?
Okay. So essentially, the provisioning bit is all about putting a credential in your chip. So there's various credentials you may need. One is for maybe access to Azure or Amazon, something else. And then Matter is a special breed of credential that you need to authenticate your device on a Matter network. This is a little bit special because to give you a Matter certificate, I have to make sure that you are authorized by CSA. So it's a bit more involved than just connecting. There will be some checks and balances, but essentially in the configuration that you do for your chips, you can add as many credentials that you need. So one for Azure, one Matter. You basically select the combination that you want on your chip. Cool. For the first provisioning or for the subsequent one if you want to rotate keys or do things like that.
Okay. And if someone was looking to start working with Kudelski IoT, what kind of evaluation process do you have? Is there kind of like trial versions of the certification process, and how does that look?
Of course, you can have a free account and test it with 50 or 100 devices.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And you can also get free Matter test certificates, so you can go and certify your product. So sure.
Excellent. And you said earlier on that it's basically your standard chip vendors. Can you give an example of some of the people you work with, if you're allowed?
Yes, so we work with ST, we work with Microchip, primarily. We work also with Qorvo, we work with many silicon manufacturers which are here in Embedded World, so these are our partners.
Cool, excellent. So it sounds like Kudelski is going to work with anything that you like to work with. So check them out at Kudelski IoT.
Hey, where my engineers at?